Hello everybody, Kevin here, After the 94. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're back with another monthly update video. Today we're going to be talking about what kind of games we're going to be playing this month on March, and believe me, it's going to be a lot of big games, especially with the most recent release of Resident Evil Requiem, which is obviously going to be the biggest highlight for this month. I did a little sneak peek tease for last month, the moment the game came out on Thursday, so I managed to bring out at least one video out for Requiem. Obviously, the biggest highlight for March is going to be Resident Evil Requiem, aka RE9, which is crazy to see it, but it is the 9th entry of the whole Resident Evil franchise since the 90s, since the first game came out. And they're still making more games, so they're still making more mainline entry. I don't know how they do it, but they still continue to make more mainline entry. And of all the newer Resident Evil game, this is probably the only one that felt very much close to Resident Evil in terms of, like, you know, the gameplay styles that it has, all the different enemies you get, plus the characters you play as too. Like, this one felt definitely very much like Resident Evil in terms of, especially in terms of like the story too, and the whole lore world, the world building around it. So I think this is probably one of the best newer Resident Evil games out there to date. And yes, I know we gotta give some credits, to Resident Evil 7 for saving the franchise, but to me personally, I didn't think Resident Evil 7 and Village just didn't really felt Resident Evil to me. It felt like completely different games. Like, it has some of the core mechanics, like the puzzles, the backtrack, putting items into to your item box and all that stuff. So it's cool, like, that they went back to the roots, and that, like I said, that's why Resident Evil is still going strong, because Resident Evil 7 literally saved the franchise from death essentially. And but it just didn't really felt Resident Evil because it just felt like its own spin-off, But Requiem is like the only one that felt like a true sequel, that kind of connects everything from like the first, from like all the other older Resident Evil game. And but yeah, we're all gonna be playing that pretty much throughout the whole month. Or, like I said, I've already beaten the game already, so this video is just pre-recorded video, just gonna be released over time until I get to recording the last video for it, which will be a review where I'll be talking about what I like about the game, what I didn't like about the game, because there's a lot of good things this game has, but there's also some things in this game that I a little bit of critique. It's not the biggest critique, but it's something to call out Capcom on that. So, like, it's not a perfect Resident Evil game. It's not a masterpiece, but it is a good game, but it's nowhere near as a masterpiece as, the older Resident Evil game. Like, obviously the older games is going to be golden, Resident Evil 4, RE2, RE3, 1, but, that's just my opinion. But yeah, hopefully you guys are looking forward to Requiem, because I had a lot of fun playing this game, and I am considering about doing a second playthrough for this game. I'm not sure for a third playthrough, but I'll probably do a second playthrough again, just for the heck of it, just kind of speed run through the game and see if I can beat the game, under a given time to get that achievement. But I highly doubt it though. But yeah, so far though, it is like I said, I actually really like Requiem, and I really do hope Capcom will release some sort of expansion DLC for the game, which most of the time they do, because they did that with 7, they did that with 4, they didn't do that with 3 unfortunately, but Village did that as well. So more likely, since this game sold really well, I have a feeling we're all going to get some sort of expansion DLC. And then we might even get a tease of potentially out of the next mainline entry or a new remake. Hopefully it's Code Veronica. I think Code Veronica is literally the one that desperately needs to be remake. They did talk about Resident Evil 5 remake, which I will not be opposed to, but I have a feeling that Code Veronica really deserves the remake more than Resident Evil 5. I don't mind the dogs barking back there. I'm not sure what they're barking, but yeah. Hopefully, you guys are looking forward to the playthrough for Resident Evil Requiem. I had a lot of blast with it. Maybe you will too if you're a big fan of the franchise as a whole. But yeah, overall, fantastic game. Hopefully, you guys are looking forward to the playthrough. Of course, another big game coming out too this month on March is going to be, of course, Crimson Desert. Now, this game, I have been keeping an eye on for this game for a very long time. This game, matter of fact, it's been in development for a long time. And this is made by the same developers that did, the MMORPG Black Desert Online, which I played a little bit of it, but the gameplay just really didn't get to be. Plus, it was extremely grindy to the point I was like, I kind of don't care about it. And that came out back in 2014 too, which is pretty damn crazy to think about. And if you look at the graphics in that game, the graphics in that game is so pretty damn good too. It holds up really well, which is kind of a shame because the game looks nice, like really nice. It's just that I didn't really enjoy the grindiness and the gameplay this game has. So I was like, eh. So, but after seeing a lot of stuff for Crimson Desert, Crimson Desert is looking, extremely, really good. Like to me, Crimson Desert looks like a game that is, that Dragon's Dogma 2 should have been. If you guys remember Dragon's Dogma 2, that game was, the expectation for that game was really high. Even for me, coming from playing the first game too, and I really did enjoy Dragon's Dogma 2. I played the shit out of that game. I played that game. I must have put in like at least 3 to 5 hours a day on that game. Sometimes spending the whole day playing that game. I'd be looking at my recording time like, holy shit, fucking 7 hours. I was like, god damn, son. So it's just kind of crazy to see, that I could put in that much hours without realizing it, which pretty much tells you that it is a really good game in its own way. But Crimson Desert looks like a game that that Dragon's Dogma 2 should have been in terms of the original concept wise, because the whole gameplay looks like, from what I've seen, it looks like it really does play like Dragon's Dogma 2. You got like the different classes, the magic, the different combat abilities you can do. It looks insane. That's all I gotta say. I have a feeling Crimson Desert is going to be a huge game. It's going to do extremely well. It looks really nice. The gameplay, the show for it looks really good. I cannot wait to check out Crimson Desert. Because this game has been in development for so damn long. Like, I think they showed this game back in 2020, which is literally 6 years old, essentially. And I think this game is supposed to be a prequel, was originally supposed to be a prequel to Black Desert Online, but it ended up becoming its own thing. So, again, like I said, I'm absolutely looking forward to Crimson Desert. It is an open world game, so it's gonna be a long playthrough, to say the least. I'm not sure how long it's gonna be, but we're going to try to put as much content into the game as much as possible, and hopefully we'll be able to beat it, because something tells me this game is going to be a game I won't be able to beat. Not in a long time, at least. But yeah, hopefully you guys are looking forward to it, because I'm looking forward to it when this game comes out. And this game comes out roughly 2 weeks from now. It comes out 2 weeks, so hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. 2 weeks from now, we'll be playing Crimson Desert. Could be a contender for Game of the Year alongside with Requiem. I think Requiem is going to be a Game of the Year contender for this year. But yeah, it looks absolutely insane. Again, hopefully you guys are looking forward to it, because I am. Now, this is another game that I might consider doing, maybe not, but I did play a little bit of John Carpenter Toxic Commando. You probably have seen the demo video I have uploaded earlier, and there are some things I like about it, but I don't know. There's also a lot of there's a lot of things I like about it, but there's also a lot of things that I'm like, I don't know, this will be a game I'll be playing long term. And from the looks of it, I don't think the game is not going to be that long too. Granted, the maps are going to be semi-open world, or it actually is open world. It's not too big, but it is open world, so you can like do certain missions and all this stuff here and there. I have a feeling it is going to be an interesting co-op game, but like I say, long term wise, I don't know. I'll be playing the game, long-term wise, because it does have the same grindy system that World War Z have, which I was not really a fan of. But I guess it kind of increased replayability. I'm playing the game on hard, leveling up your classes, all that stuff. But I don't know. I kind of find the grinding in World War Z, even Space Marine 2, just a little bit too grindy, just too many things to do. But I do like the fact that you do have to work for it, but to me, I'm not really a fan of how they do it, because there's so many different setups, there's so many different, currencies, that you have to use to upgrade certain items, your class and all that stuff. It's a lot of work to do, to say the least. And for me, I just want to go in there, get in the game, and have fun. But obviously, you want the game a little bit more challenging. So in order to do that, you got to grind up your class to play the game on hard mode and all that stuff. But to me, I just find that a little bit tedious. But who knows? We just have to see. I might consider doing Toxic Commando, but again, it's still a big maybe. This one comes out literally next week. Hopefully to fix a lot of the issues to the demo, because that game didn't really run the best, and also there's like literally no FOV slider, and I think it had automatic frame grain on too. But I think in the most recent update for the demo, they did give you the option to disable all the cinematic stuff, which ambient stuff for the game's color filter, which includes film grain, because the game just kind of look a little bit too muddy for my liking. But this is still maybe, so I might do it, I might not. But if I do, hopefully you guys are looking forward to John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. Haven't really seen John Carpenter did anything in a very long time, but I do know for a fact he is a big gamer. So hopefully this game is made, with love, and of course, the game. Hopefully this game lives up to the hype, because like I said, John Carpenter is. He's a gamer like the rest of us. He plays all his games too, and I do hope for a fact this game, lives up to the hype, But we just have to see. To me, the game still kind of reminds me a little bit of Back 4 Blood and World War Z, fusion, with a little bit of open world stuff, And for the most part, I do like a lot of aspect of it though. But I don't know, long term wise, like I say, I don't know if I'll be playing this game for a long term, unless they release some new DLCs, which they might, but time will tell. Another game I'm absolutely kind of looking forward to is Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake. I haven't played. I had never been in this game, but I did play this game on the PlayStation 2, and at the time it was pretty damn freaky. So, for them to announce a new Fatal Frame 2 remake, and the fact that it's coming out, the same day as John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, it's pretty crazy. It's coming out roughly soon, in like about a week. So we'll be checking this game out, because obviously it is a huge fan favorite for Fatal Frame, for the Fatal Frame franchise. But I only played 2 though on the PS2. I never played any of the other ones. I do have the other games on my Steam libraries, the newer ones, but I never played them yet. So maybe after I've beaten Fatal Frame 2, I'll probably check out the newer entries as well. But like I said, a lot of people really seem to like Fatal Frame 2 quite a bit, and it looks pretty good too. Like visually, it looks good. It's a complete remake too. I think maybe a 1-in-1 remake. I'm not sure, but for what I've seen, it looks very promising. The game is not too expensive as well, so I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty good game. Hopefully, it's a good game. Like I said, I haven't really played too many horror games, lately, because most of the time they're just kind of lame. But you do get a few good ones here and there, though. So hopefully, this one will be pretty good. And you probably have heard the news too, but Ninja Gaiden 4's DLC comes out, I think, in like 2 days, I believe, the 2 Master DLC. So I have a feeling once we beat the main game, we're going to be pretty much going straight into the DLC of the 2 Masters, and hopefully the DLC lives up to the hype too. I think there's only like 3 chapters, I think, so it sounds a little bit short, but hopefully there's going to be a lot of good content. I'm still a little bit debated on Ninja Gaiden 4. Like there's part of me that wants to like the game, and there's also part of me I'm like, this ain't Ninja Gaiden, and I'm still gonna stand by that, by that, because this game, like, there's a lot of things I like about it, but it just doesn't really feel, classic Ninja Gaiden. Like the first 2 game is, like, to me, it just feels like a straight up hack and slash game. Like, don't get me wrong, games like that, are always going to be pretty, golden for the most part. But for Ninja Gaiden, what makes it, the most interesting for me is the gameplay loop of going to like certain areas and exploring. Like going around finding secrets, weapon upgrades, finding hidden, enemy bosses. This game kind of has that, but I think Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2 did it much better. 4 is like, straight up point A to point B. You don't really, there's not really too much exploration you can do besides doing the Torii gates, all that stuff, which is pretty much the test of Valors, from Ninja Gaiden 1. I think Ninja Gaiden 2 had it too, but Ninja Gaiden 2 Black didn't have that for some reason, so it's a little bit of a shame. But But yeah, Ninja Gaiden 4 is still going to be, of course, Saturday uploads. I'm trying to get it upload Saturdays on time, but it is what it is. Real life. Real life stuff. Can't really, if I don't have time, I'll just upload it on Sunday or Monday. But yeah, we're going to be continuing our playthrough for Ninja Gaiden 4. Hopefully we'll be able to beat the game by then, and then that way we can check out the new DLC, the Two Masters. And it's kind of cool too is that this new DLC is coming out. It's going to have 2 new weapons, I believe. One for Yakumo and Warrior Hayabusa, which we still haven't played Hayabusa yet, despite how far we're in the game. Like, the whole game is essentially Yakumo's freaking game, which is freaking insane. That you got Hayabusa getting sidelined by this emo ninja. But I'm looking forward to it. Like I say, I want to check out the new weapons plus the brand new chapters as well. That will continue on the storyline too, from whatever the heck happened at the end of the game. My guess is that they're gonna both team up to take out the Dark Dragon. That's my guess. They're gonna team up together. I highly doubt they're gonna kill each other. But like I said, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully the game as a whole lives up to the hype. And then once we beat the DLC, that will pretty much be the end of Ninja Gaiden 4. Unless they release any more content, but yeah, we're still going to be doing Saturday uploads for Ninja Gaiden 4. Sunday's uploads, same thing too for Silent Hill F. I'm pretty sure I am literally at the end of the game. I'm still debating on doing a second playthrough because, one, I am kind of curious about the different endings, but at the same time, I don't want to go to the slog of playing this game again because, I'll be honest, again, I'll talk about it for the 10,000th time. I just don't like the combat in that game. The combat is just... There's something about the combat in that game I just don't like. Like, it wants to be a melee-based game, somewhat semi-Souls-like too, but it just doesn't really do it well for me. Like, it just feels sluggish, slow. It's just clunky. Like, I get it what they were trying to do, that it was made by design. They made it like that to make the game more difficult, but just the fact that most of the time the enemies don't get staggered and all that stuff, but you get like 4 hit combo, and it's like almost no block and no parry in the system. There's like only maybe one weapon where you can actually block. The dodge system is like your best friend, and even then the dodge system is kind of wonky too. Like, I don't know, it's just the game is a tedious to go through. I'm not a fan of the combat. The melee combat system is not good. The mechanics for the gameplay for it is not good. That's why I'm kind of like, I don't want to play this shit again. But I'll probably do it just for maybe the UFO ending, maybe the true ending, or the good ending at least, and that's pretty much it. I don't want to play that game any more than I have to, because like I said, the combat in that game is just so tedious. It's to the point I was like, bro, Silent Hill 2 Remake has a more simple gameplay mechanic, and it plays much better. Like, Silent Hill 2 at least was pretty good for the most part. Like, there are even times I get overwhelmed too, and I get killed because I wasn't watching my back, but at least the combat seemed a little bit fair in that game more than Silent Hill F, where once you find more than 3 enemies or 2 enemies, you're pretty much cooked. Like, I'm gonna be honest, you're pretty much cooked. Because this enemies has some of the craziest attack moveset to the point you just get fucked, I'm kind of just ranting off of here, but yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to finish Silent Hill F, the main story, and then maybe do a UFO ending video, maybe true ending, and then we'll wrap up the whole playthrough as a whole for Silent Hill F. Because there's a lot of things I do like about that game, though. I think the story, the world building, the atmosphere, the whole vibe of the game, I think is pretty good. But the combat is what's really holding it back for me. I just don't like the damn combat in that game. Also, too, there's been a whole lot of... we also got Seam Fest going on, I believe so, and we got a lot of freaking demos to play here, and so it's going to be... we're also going to be checking out a lot of demos as well this month, checking out some cool games that I might consider playing in the future, because there's a lot of games that I'm looking at here right now that looks pretty damn cool, and I cannot wait to check it out. So stay tuned for that, because we're going to be uploading them pretty much throughout the whole month. Random demo games, telling you my first impression on them, see if the game is good or not. But it's going to be a pretty busy month though, for March for sure. Also, I'm gonna also try to squeeze in Romeo as a Dead Man too. I've been kind of holding that game off because I've been playing a lot of Resident Evil Requiem, so I might consider coming back playing some more Romeo as a Dead Man because that game is surprisingly pretty good. I would say it's probably not going to be, a game that's going to win awards and all that stuff, but I definitely appreciate, the amount of, depth that, they went into that game, in terms of the gameplay, mechanics, and all that stuff. It's pretty cool for what I've seen. But like I said, it's not going to win any awards, but I would say it's a pretty interesting game for the most part. It's pretty damn cool. Very crazy though. Like I said, this is my first Soda 51, which this guy is known to be more crazier than goddamn Hideo Kojima apparently. But so far though, from what I played, Woman is a Dead Man, I really do, I really do like the whole vibe of that game. It has a little bit of everything though. It has like, it's a bit of anime. Kind of has a little bit of a Rick and Morty theme to it too, a little bit too. I don't know, like the scientist, your grandpa, kind of reminds me, fucking, Rick in some ways. So, like I said, it's a very interesting game. I cannot wait to play a lot more of it. I'm very curious how it ends. It's pretty much another take on Romeo and Juliet, essentially. But like I said, I'm very curious, how this game is going to progress further. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to squeeze in Romeo as a Dead Man this month as well. Also going to be trying to finish off Neo 1, so that way we'll be able to play the second game and then start a playthrough for the third game. Technically, I could just start the dirt game and get over it, but I kind of want to start from the beginning. From the first game. I already started my playthrough on the first game, so I want to play through the first game first, and then we'll move on to the second game, and then we'll play through the third game afterwards. So it's going to be a long time before we get to Neo 3, but so far from what I played from the first game, surprisingly, I actually quite like it, despite how punishing that game can be if you're not careful. If you're not careful for 1 second, you will die in literally 2 shots. But hey, I don't know. There's something about it that I kind of like that because of that, It kind of makes you try to get better at the game, And I think over time, playing that game for a bit, I think I am kind of getting a little bit better. There's still some mechanics in there that I'm still not understanding yet. It's like, because you can like switch out, certain techniques and abilities with certain button inputs. So I haven't really perfected that yet, or what kind of type of build I want to do. But so far I'm putting on a lot on sword and health, strength build. So I should be in theory a little bit tanky, but it doesn't really matter because you still die pretty fast so in this game. So but yeah, Neo 1 though is pretty damn good so far from when I play it, and I cannot wait to play the second game and then get back and play the third game because I really like the third game, even though the third game is pretty much Rise of the Ronin. But I think it's better than Rise of the Ronin in some small ways. But yeah, hopefully we continue our playthrough for the first Neo game. Code Vein 2, I'm not sure I'll be able to squeeze this in. Code Vein 2, it's kind of crazy. I think this game is a little bit divisive, but my initial impression of the game, I really didn't really like the open world stuff and all that stuff, on some massive gameplay changes for like the combat. I'm still not a fan of the changes for the combat, but over time as I keep playing the game, I'm starting to liken the game a little bit more. But I'm not so 100% sold if this game's going to be better than the first game. I think the first game is a masterpiece compared to the sequel. But I just need to play more though. Right now it's kind of a slow start. Right now the game is open world, so it's going to take some time to do some grinding and get to the point, a key point in the story, and that's what I'm most curious about. But I don't think Code Vein 2 is a bad game, not by a long shot. I think it's a decent game, but I think it's also inferior, by a long shot from the first game. I think the first game still, in my opinion, plays a lot better. Like the gameplay, the combat feels more snappier, feels, smooth. Although a lot of people kind of disagree on that. A lot of people say Part 2 felt better. For me, Part 2 didn't feel any better, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. So, again, probably a hot take, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the combat system as Code Vein 2 compared to the first. But yeah, I'll probably try to squeeze in Code Vein 2. No promises on that, so it's probably going to be in, honorable mentions. I haven't played Oblivion Remastered in a very long time, so we're probably going to do some more playthroughs on that one. I think last talk about that, I was going to do Knights of the Nine, so we're going to be doing Knights of the Nine the full playthrough on that DLC, and then afterwards we'll probably do some more side missions before we start doing the main quests on that game. This has been on my list to beat the game completely, and like I said, it's taken a long time, but I think we'll get there eventually for Oblivion, because we've gotten pretty damn far already into the game, and we kind of did the majority of the side mission already. We did the arena where you did the Fighters Guild stuff already. We're getting pretty close to doing almost all the Mages Guild stuff as well. So like I said, we're getting pretty close to beating the game as a whole. But yeah, Oblivion Remastered, still a pretty good game. Although the remastered version, again, I'm very critique about this one because it runs like ass, and it crashes a lot more compared to the original game. And unfortunately, the game's not gonna get any further update because Virtuals hasn't done any update in like a freaking year, so almost a year. So I'm pretty sure those guys are doing something else, or they got shot down. Hopefully, they didn't get shot down, but. Yeah, we're going to be starting our Knights on the Nine playthrough for Oblivion Remastered, and hopefully you guys will be looking forward to that. Last but not least though, Command & Conquer. I've been wanting to do Command & Conquer for a while, but I haven't really found any interesting mods lately until now. Rise of the Reds did release a new add-on called like Anti-Desis patch, whatever it is. I did a little bit of playtest on it, and it's pretty damn crazy. Like, there's a lot of like crazy new mechanics and new units to test out. And I kind of like it. It kind of adds a little bit more chaos to it, but it also makes the AI a lot more aggressive too. So I'm going to be a little bit faster and getting better at the game. So I'm kind of practicing a little bit right now, so that way I don't get my ass whooped in the game. So, but yeah, hopefully you guys are looking forward to the return of Command & Conquer. Like I said, it's been a very long time since I did anything related to Command & Conquer, and this channel started out with Command & Conquer. So to everybody that has been, waiting for Command & Conquer content, I do want to apologize for the long delay wait for like seems like eons or decades, because I promised that I was gonna do it, return to Command & Conquer. I never did. So like I said, I do apologize for the long delay, but this time though, we're coming back in full force for Command & Conquer. There's there's a few mods I kind of want to test out. Maybe we'll try out 0 Hour Enhanced 2 again too. Because I think initially I didn't really like that mod as much, which is why I only made 3 videos. But we'll probably do some more, and maybe we'll do some more End of Days too. They did release some more patches and a whole bunch of updates that kind of address a lot of the balancing and all that stuff and new units. So we'll probably take a look at End of Days again. But for the most part though, yeah, we're gonna probably be doing some add-on showcase for Rise of the Reds, and maybe come back and do Tambourine Down Redux for the campaign, because I still haven't finished the campaign yet. But yeah, keep an eye out for that, guys. Alright guys, so I am going to leave it here for now. I've been ranting on for far too long. Again, like I said, a lot of cool big games are coming out this month, and it's going to be a busy month to say the least. And next month is still going to be busy, because we also got a few big games coming out next month too. And of course, it's going to be from one of them is going to be a big Capcom game too, which I am absolutely looking forward to it. But yeah, that's going to be it to now for the monthly channel update video. That's all I pretty much got to say about what games I'm going to play. The only thing left for me to say is that I want to leave a big shout out to everybody that's been supporting the channel, both old and new subscribers. Without you guys to support, I wouldn't be doing this, period. I will not be doing YouTube, but because you guys are so coming back, watching the content, checking things out, encouraging me to do some more videos, it makes you want to keep doing more. It makes you want to keep doing YouTube, so that way I keep making videos for you guys. And I do appreciate you guys' support. It means a lot to me, and I just want to say thank you for continuing to support the channel one way or another. And it just means a lot to me, because I always wanted to do YouTube for a long time. Eventually I do want to be somewhat of a little bit of a big YouTuber, but not too big, but I do kind of want to get enough traction where people will be watching my video consistently, but yeah. I just love doing YouTube. Maybe we'll get into streaming, but I'm always going to be uploading videos on YouTube for you guys, always. And like I said, thank you for you guys' support. It means a lot to me. And of course, as a gratitude, every month, and as a gratitude for you guys' support, I always like to give you guys something in return. And as you know it, every month we'll be giving out free PC games for free. And it's going to only be PC, so keep that in mind. It's not going to be console keys and all that stuff. It's going to be strictly PC. But, as a gratitude for you guys supporting the channel, I give out free games for you guys to redeem. And hopefully it will be a game for you guys, that you might enjoy. And the games can range from AAA to indie, and the keys could also vary from, Steam, GOG, etc. But yeah, it's just as a thank you, for you guys' support for the channel. So of course I gotta give you guys something back. So free games. Keep in mind though, you're gonna have to work for it though. So answer the question. You just gotta answer the questions that I've given for that CD key for the PC game. Fill out the missing letters and numbers on the given question that I give you, and if it's right, congratulations, you've redeemed your free PC games. But I pretty much do this as a way to counter, bots, spam accounts stealing the keys, right off the bat. So that's why I have to put this system in place, so that way it won't get immediately get destroyed. I might have to amp up the challenge on some of the questions too, because some of them are a little bit too easy, and the keys are going by really fast too. So I do apologize for that, but it is going to be first come first serve. So it's going to be for everybody to grab, and if one person grab them, not too much I can do about it. Okay, but yeah. Other than that, I got really nothing else to say. But other than that, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Hopefully, you guys are having a fantastic week. Hopefully, you guys are having a fantastic day. I know I am. And if you guys got any other games you want to suggest for me to play, leave in the comments down below. I'll check them out. Obviously, the game has to not to be non-safe. It has to be safe for work. No adult games. I can't play it on the channel. Even though I probably will not be opposed, but YouTube will not like that. So no adult games, okay? Only games that you might that it might interest me. So yeah, you got any other games you want to suggest? Just leave in the comments down below. And also, if you guys got any other suggestions of how I should improve the channel, leave that in the comments down below. Hit me with any suggestion you got. I'm open to it. I'm open to make some minor changes here and there for the channel, because I'm always looking to improve my channel. Always, in terms of like how I do the editing process. Upload them in a certain, certain days. Or consistently. Any suggestion will help. I'll be open to them. But other than that, guys, I'm gonna leave it here for now. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and if you didn't, dislike the video. It's all up to you. And other than that, guys, stay safe out there. And until then, I will see you in the next one. Peace.